This is Anna. She lives in the town of Plentyville, where everyone has a job, and there is plenty of everything for everyone. There is plenty of food, plenty of education, plenty of clothes, and plenty of water. In fact, almost everyone in Plentyville has more than they need. That's what makes Plentyville so pleasant. But no one really knows where these things come from or what their impact is. One day, Anna was in her kitchen and noticed that a lot of the labels on her food said imported from a place called Sunnyville. Anna wasn't sure where this was, so she decided to ask her dad.
Hey Dad, where is Sunnyville and why is all our food from there?
Oh, Sunnyville is great. I have only been there on vacation once, but they have great golf courses, some really nice swimming pools, and delicious food. And it's all much cheaper than here. Maybe we should go for a holiday there.
Anna was so excited by Sunnyville that her dad decided to book her a holiday for her birthday, and 2 weeks later, they were on their way.
This swimming pool is great, Dad. Why don't we have one like this at home?
It would be too expensive to own a swimming pool just for us. It needs a lot of water, and the water needs to be changed regularly.
Miss, do you have a swimming pool for your family?
Hi, I'm Lucia. No, dear, we don't have a pool. We don't have enough water for that here in this region. It's very hot and there is not a lot of rain. We need the little water that we have for drinking and washing our clothes.
But in our hotel room, we have 3 taps and water is always running.
I know. Unfortunately, in the village, we don't have a lot of water left. It's very different from here. If you want, I will invite you and your father to my house. I can show you how difficult it is for us to get the water. And you can meet my family. We would be happy to have you as our guests.
Thank you very much. That is very kind. We'd love to come.
2 hours later after their swim, Anna and her dad joined their new friend Lucia to meet her family. As they drive, Anna begins to notice differences between her hotel and the rest of the region. Before long, they arrive at Lucia's house.
This is my village, and this is where I live with my husband and son. I'll take you inside and show you around.
You have a lovely house, and I can see you do have a tap in your kitchen.
Yes, you are right. But this house was built when there wasn't a water scarcity. Now water only runs a few hours per week. In the past, we used to have enough water for everything. We could even shower every day.
Wow, but how? Where has the water gone?
It is difficult to understand where the water went. I know that the hotel where you are staying uses a lot of water, but I don't want to blame them. I'm very happy that I'm employed there and I receive a good salary. I need the money because water and food is very expensive here. They say it is imported from other regions. We used to produce all of our food on our own fields, but today cotton is the only thing our farmers grow. We can go and look at the cotton fields if you are interested.
Yes, please. That will be really interesting.
After one last look around, Anna, her dad, and Lucia start their drive to the cotton field. As they drive towards the cotton field, Anna notices that the size of the river becomes smaller and the landscape becomes drier. She asks Lucia what's wrong with the river.
Oh, that! It's from the uranium mine that's just over the valley. Quite a few people from my village work there, but it is one of the reasons why we don't have much drinking water. The process of mining uses a lot of our fresh water and pollutes the rest of it. Sometimes it tastes okay, but health workers tell us that it's filled with toxins that will make us sick. Not straight away, but in a few years. Some people use it anyway. They need it to wash or cook with and can't afford to worry about the future issues that it might cause.
But that's awful. Why do you even need uranium? What does it do?
Well, you can use uranium to make energy in nuclear power plant. Most people in Sunnyville don't use it because it's too expensive. We mainly use diesel generators and do most of our jobs during the daylight hours. But the rich people who own the mine export the uranium to other countries and make a lot of money. And it does provide us with some jobs.
I think that Plentyville uses uranium. We need it for everything. For our household appliances, for cooking, and for our own industries within Plentyville.
But what about our water pollution? Surely it would be better if everyone could use the water in the river and not have to worry about getting sick.
Of course it would, but we don't get to decide the things. If people in other countries are willing to buy the uranium, the miners can make money. And our government is happy because they can tax the miners and be able to afford things like healthcare and education.
But what is the point of healthcare if the water makes you sick?
You're right. That's a good question. The government has asked the uranium miners to make sure they keep the rivers clean, but they don't check. Oh, look, here's the cotton field.
These fields are endless.
They are, and the cotton takes all the water too. Cotton is planted everywhere, and the rivers are having less water than they used to have before. Our people used to fish in the lake when it was so rich with all kinds of fish, but now...
Once the biggest lake in the area, with abundant fish, thriving fisheries, it took its water from the main rivers that flow all the way from the glaciers, thousands of kilometers away. But when these rivers were diverted into the cotton fields for irrigation, other lands were left without much water, and the lake also. Over the years, the gigantic lake has shrunk enormously and lost the rich ecosystem it was known for. Now the salt and agricultural chemical residues from the dead lake are spread all over the place, causing diseases. The weather is becoming even hotter and drier.
Cotton fields are the source of living for the people here now. After the cotton is handpicked and the fields are emptied, people collect the shrubs of cotton for cooking and heating their homes in winter.
Why don't people grow their own vegetables, rice or wheat?
They can't plant other crops because the land belongs to the government. The government tells us what to crop, to plant, to sell. It's expensive, and for the past 60 years they sell cotton only.
So what happens with the cotton afterwards?
We don't know what happens to the cotton after it is removed from the fields. It is said that the cotton is taken to countries far away to make clothes. We only have a textile dyeing factory, but the textiles are also brought from abroad. Do you see that pond filled with red water?
Red is not the right color for water.
That is caused by the dyeing factory.
The textile dyeing industry is one of the most polluting industries in the world. It can release trillions of liters of chemically tainted wastewater.
So, this water is also polluted. But where can people get clean water?
The local community has less and less access to clean water for drinking, for washing, for agriculture. They collect rainwater for daily water usage.
Oh, that sounds so bad. Look, people are with colorful faces. Are they having a party?
Oh no, Diana, of course not. There are workers who work in the dyeing factory. Their faces are red because of working in the factory. The color can fade away only if they stay away from the factory for 3 months.
Oh, that is unbelievable. If so, why we need this dyeing factory?
That is complicated. You know, Anna, the stories you have seen today in our village are just part of the bigger picture.
Anna is somehow confused and with a lot of question marks in her head. Anna felt as though she had learned so much during her time with her new friend, Lucia, but she wanted to know more.
Lucia, you have shown me so much today and been so kind to both myself and my dad. I'd really like to know more about water scarcity and its causes, and how I can help, but I don't know where to look.
It was a pleasure showing someone as interested as yourself around my hometown. I'm glad you got to see some of its beauty, as well as some of the issues we have with water. You can find lots of information about similar cases on the internet.
Luckily, Anna's dad always carried his tablet with him, so Anna decided to do some research. Through her research, Anna discovers that mining is one of Australia's main industries that results in limited water supply. Anna found an example of a uranium mine in central northern Australia called Jabiluka. It is located next to the Kakadu UNESCO World Heritage Area, where many Indigenous Australians live, and is one of the largest underground uranium deposits in the world. Anna became worried when she read that uranium mining not only uses a lot of the region's fresh water, but also has the potential to contaminate other freshwater sources. This happens through processes such as acid mine drainage, heavy metal leaching, and chemical processing. Accidents and spills are also not uncommon. Anna is also very curious about the dyeing industry. She wants to know what happens behind those colorful clothes. The textile dyeing industry is one of the most polluting industries in the world. Zhaoshan, a county with a population of more than 1 million, is located in the Zhejiang province, China. By 2013, there had been more than 400 textile industry-related enterprises in Zhaoshan, which have contributed 13.7 billion yuan to the county's GDP. However, due to the discharge of untreated chemically tainted wastewater, local water resources are severely polluted. Local communities have less and less access to clean water for drinking and for agriculture. They also gave up local food production because the food produced from local soil is not edible anymore. What is worse, an increasing number of people get heavily sick after working in these factories. Some of them even died of cancer.
Cotton and water. Shrinking of Aral Sea.
The Aral Sea basin spreads throughout Central Asia. Rich in fauna and flora, the Aral Sea ecosystem provided the settlements around with sources of livelihood, mainly from fisheries, which thrived in abundance. During the 1950s, the Soviet Union started agricultural development in Central Asia. Sirdarya and Amudarya rivers, the biggest rivers in the region, are sources of water for the Aral Sea. These two rivers were diverted into the deserts for agricultural irrigation. The intensive irrigation of the large agricultural areas resulted in the reduction of water flow into the Aral Sea, and from the 1960s, the Aral Sea has been shrinking dramatically. Despite this, the production of cotton, the white gold, continued to increase, and the countries rely on cotton as a highly profitable commodity. The cotton is exported to Europe, Russia, and China. The Aral Sea has reduced to 10% of its size. This means that the sea has lost 90% of its size and 80% of its volume. Big patches of new deserts have emerged within the sea, and the dried sea bottom is filled with agricultural and industrial chemicals that are raised by the wind into the air, causing numerous diseases. These new deserts inside the former Aral Sea are now used for oil and gas exploration. Anna wants to know how she can help solve these problems.
Try to use less energy. I should think before I buy.
What do you think Anna can do to reduce her water consumption? Share it on our website.